When did you feel alive last time? Maybe it was a moment so small you barely remember it. The sun on your skin, a laugh that felt genuine, a moment when you weren't thinking about the next thing or the thing after that. But if you're watching this, chances are that feeling is gone. For weeks, months, or maybe even years, you've been existing in this gray area. You're doing the work, you're paying the bills, you're talking to your friends, but it all feels muted, like you're watching your life through a sheet of thick glass. You're present, but entirely disconnected. If you recognize that feeling, that deep, profound emptiness, I want you to take a breath. I see you. And the most important thing I need you to know is this: you are not broken, and you are not failing. That emptiness is actually evidence of a powerful, exhausted system that has been running on fumes for too long. When you say, "I don't feel anything," science gives us two clinical words to describe what's happening, and naming them is the first step toward getting our power back. The first is anhedonia. It literally means the inability to experience joy or pleasure. If you used to love reading and now the pages just feel like words on a screen, that's anhedonia. If your favorite song plays and you feel nothing, that's the joy thief at work. It blocks the reward signals in your brain. The second is dissociation. This is your brain's emergency eject button. When stress becomes overwhelming, your mind attempts to protect you by creating distance. You might feel physically detached from your own body, like a robot or an external observer, which is called depersonalization. Or you might feel like your entire environment is fake, like you're living inside a movie or a dream. That's derealization. These aren't quirks. They are survival tactics that your mind developed because the pain, the stress, or the overwhelm was too much to bear. Here is the most shocking truth about emotional numbness, especially if your detachment stems from trauma or chronic stress. You are not emotionally numb. You are actually emotionally hyperresponsive. Think about that for a second. If you've been living with constant background dread or anxiety, your internal alarm system is set to max volume, always looking for threats. Your system is constantly overloaded by negative emotional input. Because all your energy is dedicated to defense, your brain now requires an intensely strong hit of positive stimulation just to register a normal feeling of happiness or calm. If a small pleasure used to be a 5 out of 10, now it needs to be an 11 just to get past the noise. So the numbness you feel is not a failure to feel. It's exhaustion from having felt too much for too long. The system is desperately trying to quiet the noise, and it mistakenly mutes everything else along with it. Where does this critical depletion come from? It's often not a single huge event, but a slow, insidious drain. 1. The silent anxiety trap. Many of us, particularly if we grew up in environments that discouraged vulnerability, suppress worry to avoid conflict or discomfort. This silent anxiety, unexpressed, hidden worry, doesn't vanish. It manifests as a constant, lullable physical tension or dread. This sustained anxiety forces you to suppress all emotion to maintain control, leading directly to the emotional flatline. You are unintentionally training yourself to feel nothing. 2. The burnout purpose deficit. Burnout isn't just needing a holiday. It's feeling useless, helpless, and completely depleted in your life. When you lack a sense of purpose, you lose the internal resources needed for emotional engagement, forcing you to feel numb toward your surroundings just to cope. 3. Chronic loneliness. Loneliness isn't just being alone. It's a deep lack of meaningful connection. Chronic loneliness is described by psychologists as torturous. When you can't or won't share your feelings with anyone, your internal emotional life has no outlet, leading you to detach from your own feelings entirely. Isolation reinforces the entire numbing cycle. If you are waiting for a sudden wave of motivation or happiness to return before you start doing things, you will be waiting forever. That feeling does not work that way. The key to escaping this is an incredibly powerful, evidence-based technique called behavioral activation. Its core principle is radical. Action precedes motivation. You don't feel good and then do the dishes. You do the dishes or something tiny, and then you feel slightly better. This is how we hack the system, using the dopamine loop. Dopamine, the chemical that drives motivation, doesn't fire before you take action. It fires after you complete a task to reinforce the behavior. You have to manually start the engine. 1. Tiny actions first. Don't start hard. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. Showering feels like running a marathon? Break it down. Step 1. Put feet on the floor. Step 2. Walk to the bathroom. 2. Schedule mastery and pleasure. Every day, plan something that gives you a sense of mastery accomplishment, like making a phone call, getting a haircut, and something that gives you pleasure enjoyment, like listening to music or watching a sunset. 3. The critical step. Reward yourself. This is the hack. After you complete a tiny action, you must immediately give yourself internal praise. Stop the voice that says, "That was easy for normal people." Instead, say, "Good job. I'm proud of you for showing up today." You deserve credit for that effort. Acknowledging the effort is what strengthens the reward circuit, giving you the fuel for the next action. To feel alive, you have to reconnect your mind to your body and your emotions to the world. Vulnerability is the antidote. Find one trusted person, a friend, family member, or therapist, and share the truth about how you feel. Sharing difficult emotions in a safe space directly challenges the emotional shield you've built, starting the process of dismantling it. Savor the small things. You need to retrain your pleasure receptors. Mindfulness helps you reawaken your senses. Deliberately pause and focus on the smell of coffee, the warmth of the sun, or the texture of your clothes. This savoring of subtle positives helps your brain register feeling again. Put it on paper. Journaling your thoughts and emotions forces them out of your system, preventing them from being suppressed and turning into that familiar numbness. If you are living behind that glass wall, please remember this: you are not alone. This experience is shared by millions, and it is a treatable condition. Your mind is powerful, and it is ready to heal. You don't have to fix everything today. Your only goal for right now is to find one small, tiny action that aligns with a value you care about: your health, your family, your future. Go take that action, and then give yourself the credit you deserve.